What's up, everybody? We're back again. This is the Comic Book Hit List, and we're here today with a great unboxing from PGX. These books that I submitted to PGX were some of my old original Milestone comic books, which I've had in poly bags for, decades at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the books. Then after that, I'm going to show you a few other books that I submitted that were just some of my personal favorite autograph books. As you all know, Comic Book Hit List does mystery boxes. We do signature edition mystery boxes. If you want more on that, email me, comicbookhitlist@yahoo.com, but you can also leave a comment below. And what we do is we take your top 10 or we take your theme. So let's say you want to do a Spider-Man family of books. Well, then you'll get Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, Venom, Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, all the gambit of the Spider-Man titles in one mystery box. You can also have it to where you can cater the number of books that you want. You can get a mystery box of 3, 5, 10 books. You can get graded books, even graded cards in your mystery box. It just depends on what you were ready to spend and what you are looking for your own personal collection. Are the books great for resale value? Absolutely. They're all signed. They come with COAs. But I have to tell you, most of the boxes that people buy from me, they're buying to add to their personal collection. However, there are some people who buy them and put them in their own mystery boxes and resell them out as well. So I get the gambit on this side. People who buy them for their PC, people who buy them because they're cool and they want to add to their own mystery boxes to make their own mystery boxes even better. So, I'm doing the legwork, you guys get the benefit. So we're going to start with our first book. And this is in no particular order. Our first book is the Platinum Edition of Worlds Collide #1. So again, these are all the books that I originally purchased when these titles originally came out. I was a great big Milestone fan. Shout out to Coach Truck, Big Things Kentucky. Make sure you join. You subscribe to his channel. He's on IG, he's on Facebook, he's on YouTube as well. So Worlds Collide was one of the very big, if you remember, it was one of the very big crossovers between Milestone and DC Comics. And there is a great Milestone documentary that's on one of the streaming services. I don't remember. I saw it about Dwayne McDuffie and all the other Milestone creators. You should definitely check that out. The next book, of course, was their flagship title, Static Shock, PGX 9.4. And of course, as we all know, Static Shock was their #1 title. It's created a cartoon that was extremely popular, which is now back being streamed again. And that is on HBO Max, which is now called Max. So that is, again, my Static Shock #1. And that is a 9.4. Most of these books came back in 9.4. When I bought them in the poly bags, I simply stuck them in the board and bag and left them alone for years. Next, we have probably one of my second best titles from the Milestone is Icon and Rocket. This is Icon #1, 9.2. Would have loved to have these books come back a lot higher grade, but I understand they've been in the bag and they've been pressed and all that other good stuff. And I'm not one to press and regrade and repress and regrade. It is what it is at this point. Again, these are my own PC books. I do have another set that I'm going to submit in for specific reselling. So keep your eye out on that when they come back as well. Next big book, I don't know if this was my second or third, but I absolutely loved this book when it came out. This is Hardware #1. Again, 9.4 as well. Great book. I love the story. I love that the antagonist ended up being the guy who pretty much saved him. I don't want to spoil the story. I know a lot of you are big Milestone fans. I know some of you are not. A lot of the Milestone books you can pick up now They used to be very much so dollar bin books, but that is gone and changed. Most of those books, most are not dollar bin books anymore. They range anywhere from $5 on up to 50, 75, 100, depends on what you're looking for. The platinum editions are really good. They're also very expensive. So I love the hardware book, but again, I just really got into all of the milestone titles. I think I read pretty much all of their stuff. I have it all, I think. Next, of course, not too far behind, and it was actually a great team book. I wasn't overly, I don't know, I just didn't really get into it like I did the other ones, even though now that I've read some of the stories later on, I think the stories hit a little bit differently now for me. Is Blood Syndicate #1, 9.4. So most of these books came back 9.4. Again, I have to just say that seeing these characters, seeing the way they dressed, having Y-Sun have on the get that glare out of there, having Y-Sun have on the Nation of Islam hat, I thought was really cool. Having another one of Icon's brethren on the team was really crazy as well. Tech 9, I just loved it. DMZ, I love Fade, I love Flashback, Brick House, I love Dog. These characters, they really, really spoke to me. So I was really big on trying to pretty much collect everything I could. And now most of the books that I could have, I've gotten a lot of them signed, whether it's by Prentice Rollins, Jimmy Palmiotti, he did some of the art. Walt Simonson did some amazing covers. I love his covers. Ron Wilson did some work. The one person that I'm really waiting to get some of his books signed, I believe, was, I forgot the artist's name. It'll come to me, don't worry. I'll put it up later. But anyway, so those are my milestone #1s that I just really had been putting off and waiting to get graded. And I just felt, now was a great time to go ahead and get those books graded. I don't do a lot of grading. Most of the grading that I do, they are for resale, for the mystery boxes, or just, because it's a hot book. But most of my stuff is still raw. But that might change over the next, I don't know, year or so. Actually, probably not year or so, maybe a few years. So the next few books are just books that I really, really enjoy having in my collection. I'll start with one of the newer ones. I know everybody's going crazy with the Todd McFarlane signatures. So here's mine. I actually have quite a few of his signed books, whether they're Spawn or Spider-Man. I actually have some Spider-Man, Stan Lee and Todd McFarlane book signed. But this is my Spawn number 185. This book is signed by Todd McFarlane and Wilts Portacio. I'm a very big Wilts Portacio fan. I will be going to San Diego 2023. I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con. And a few years back before COVID, I actually had Wilts Portacio do a C3PO for me. So I have in my CAF gallery, you look me up on CAF, Tyrone Weems, my CAF gallery, you will see that I have a cool C3PO by Wilts Portacio, which I really like. And I'm a big Star Wars fan. I have a Dave Dorman, Lando Calrissian. So I need to get another piece from him. I don't know, maybe I'll get something different from him. Maybe a Ray. I don't know. We'll see. The next book is my Wonder Woman #1, signed by George Perez. Again, a lot of my books are 9.4. They are that near mint minus to near mint grade, because I take these books around. I fly to a lot of places, whether it's Charlotte, Atlanta, Baltimore, DC, San Diego. They kind of get handled roughly, which I'm okay with. They've also been read. Other than the polybag ones, I've read pretty much everything that I get graded before I get graded, just so I can enjoy it. And I am a reader and a collector of comics first. But, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I can resell, so I do. So, yeah, this is my Wonder Woman #1. And again, it is signed by the late, great George Perez. I got to meet him many times. in Florida, in California. So that was a great book to get signed and graded. And again, most of these books will be displayed in my house. As you can see here over my right shoulder, I have some of my original art. I have a new piece up there actually by, I think it's Hepburn. It's his Storm. I got a page from his Storm book. The next two books are very big books for me. Great time. These are books that I ended up having to, let's see. Now, yeah. So this next book, it's Black Goliath #1. I actually flew when I was living in California. I actually flew to Heroes Con to get George Tuska, Trevor Harrison, Dave Cochran, someone else. It was another veteran there, but I got those guys, and George Perez. I got those guys to sign all of the books that I had in my collection. So this is my Black Goliath #1. This is a mid-grade. It is 5.5. George Tuska's signature there. And again, I'm a big signature hound, so I do my best to get a lot of signatures on a lot of books. But the Black Goliath is just, it's just really cool. I do also have I have the pence, the 10 pence or 9 pence variants for Black Goliath, Black Panther, and something else. So I got a few of those different variants. So that is my Black Goliath. Again, Black Goliath #1, signed by George Tuska. It's the origin of Black Goliath. Great book. Love it, love it, love it all the way around. My next book, very big book. I waited really long and hard trying to catch people to get these books signed, and I eventually got 2 great people to sign this book. This is Strange Tales featuring Brother Voodoo #172, 8.0, signed by Gene Colan and Lynn Wayne. So this was a really, really interesting story. Gene Colan was coming to a con, and I had already picked up a run of Strange Tales, Brother Voodoo, before they were hot, before people were trying to run and get them, before all that census count. This was, man, now my let's see, probably 24, 25 years ago at this point. And I just kept them. Actually, these are books that I haven't read, but I think I've read like the collected edition or something. And I have a really nice Brother Voodoo page as well in my CAF gallery. But Gene Colan was coming. I saw I had a ton of his books. I had these books. I had Captain America books. I had Iron Man books. And I literally paid to get everything signed. Then again, I saw him later on in another convention in Southern California where I took even more books, paid for them, got them signed. So it's just great to have these to be part of my collection. Whew, that's a beautiful book. I like that. Yeah. So I am very happy. And so I only got this one signed. I only got this one, I shouldn't say not signed. I only got this one graded because this was one of the duplicates that I felt was on the lower side. And I think the other ones are all pretty much higher grades. Again, I'm not a grader, I'm eyeballing it. But I wanted to get this one because I had doubles of this one. So I figured this is the one. I actually have doubles of a few, but this is the one for some reason I chose that I wanted to go ahead and get graded. So my Strange Tales #172, Brother Voodoo, just a great, great book. And rounding out the final one, or the finals, these are not books that I had submitted for grading. These were just books that I traded for. So I was on the Facebook PGX fan page, and a guy had these up. I think he either had them up for sale, I think it was. And so because Comic Book Hit List also does signature edition mystery boxes, I told him, hey, let's do a trade. I'll trade you for a mystery box for the 2 books. Actually, there were 3 of them, but one of them had some damage. So I had to crack it out of the thing. And I guess it happened in shipping, but it's all good. And as you can see, Star Wars. So these are, of course, Star Wars books. These are Mandalorian, current 9.8. Very big Mandalorian fan, very big Star Wars fan. I also like Rodney Barnes and George Genty, the writer and the artist. I actually am putting together a full set to have all signed by Georges Genty and Rodney Barnes. I missed Rodney Barnes at the last con when he was in what was it, Richmond, California, Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, and I missed him, but I got my Philadelphia signed by the artist Alexander and a few other things. And of course, I got some of my stuff signed by Jason Genty, who was also Georges Genty, who is also there as well. And the next book is, of course, Mandalorian #2, first appearance of Grogu, also in a 9.8 as well. Great cover. I'm sure at this point, most of you have already started either watching and or reading The Mandalorian and all the Star Wars titles and series and movies and TV shows that are coming out. You know, people have various opinions on the Star Wars collection of movies and TV series and animations and books. I just say, keep it flowing, keep it coming, because we love our Star Wars in this household. We are a very big Star Wars fan. So anyway, that is my PGX unboxing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll leave a link to pgxcomics.com in the bio, or actually in one of the, I'll just go ahead and leave it in the message place. And if you're ever interested in going there, let them know that Comic Book Hit List gave you the update and told you to click on their link and go ahead and submit some books. Great customer service. I have great resale value for when I'm selling my books. I know there's a whole lot of opinions about PGX and CGC and CBCS, and now we have the other guy. We have, goodness gracious, slipped my mind, the new company. And I spoke to him on the phone. I'm hoping to set up an interview with him, but completely missed it. But anyway, I know people have a lot of opinions about PGX and CGC and CBCS and all those other grading companies. I say, enjoy your collection, collect what you love, grade with whoever it is you want to grade with, and you will be perfectly fine. I think you will always find sellers for whatever books you're trying to sell. If it's a hot book, if it's just a book someone happens to be looking for. So with that, I want to say thank you for joining in. Our next video will actually be another unboxing from a card grading company. So I'm not going to say which one. So I want you guys to keep your ears out. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe this video, share it on your different comic book collector groups through Facebook, Instagram. Just watch it, and hopefully you enjoy some of the books that I had got graded and I shared with you today. So again, thank you for subscribing. I also hope you like and share it. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate everything, all the attention and all the views and comments that you guys leave down in the comment section. So I appreciate you all. Thank you all, Comic Book Hit List fans, PGX fans. Thank you all. See you next time.